street fight, have you? Absolutely. Never get no street fight. In your hometown, in the Bay Area, you're gonna get knocked out. Hey, we don't see police program. When I get there, I hand your ass out.
That's the official analysis from Evan. Now, Ben, your analysis, please.
That's real. I speak the truth, bro.
Out. Love. 15.
Fuck.
Out. Love. 30. False.
You need to. We will too. We will too. We always work hard. We always work hard.
A quick prediction on the fight. Away from the Devin Haney win, how does this fight play out, Bill?
He already knows. Okay.
Challenger, Devin Haney.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. After the fight, I'm gonna go talk straight to him. And he gonna say, I was just trying to sell the fight. I was just trying to get people to watch the fight. I'm gonna say, I don't wanna hear none of that shit. I told you I was gonna whoop his ass. I'm gonna do it on December 9th. Y'all tune in.
Private school kid.
It's gonna be fireworks. You don't know
Who
me.
taught you how to do that?
Your mom.
You're a
Yeah.
private school
Out.
kid.
15. 30.
He ain't been in the trenches. He ain't been in the trenches, bro. You know he has not been in the trenches. Say what you want. We're not talking about you. We're talking about your son. We're talking about your son. Absolutely. You're not Floyd.
Out. 30. All.
That's great. I applaud you for that.
Exactly. You sound like a hate-ass nigga. You sound like a hate-ass nigga.
I told you all the time. You gonna see?
Regis, a final word from you, the champion. You heard the views of everybody, and here your opponent says he's going to take you apart on December 9th. The final word from you, what goes down at this incredible arena in front of the packed out Chase Center, San Francisco, live on the zone pay-per-view.
40.
I'm not giving my belt. I'm gonna keep my belt for sure. I feel like I'm gonna stop him. I'm done with all this clown shit up here, but yeah, I'm done with that, bro. But yeah, I see y'all December 9th. Let these fucking clowns do what they want to do.
Well, I've enjoyed it.
Only crowd agree is you. We're gonna see.
Well, I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. It's been an incredible experience up here at the press conference and a huge, huge night at December 9th. This is a great city. We've got a great opportunity to bring big-time boxing back here. Make sure you're a part of this massive show at this amazing Chase Center, live on DAZN pay-per-view. A huge undercard as well, £140 matchup. This has another important role in the division. Liam Paro will take on Montana Love. The Olympic champion Andy Cruz will fight Tanahara in just his second fight. Ebony Bridges defends her world title against Adrian Atkins. Mary Jones as well on the undercard. Looking forward to seeing him out. Beatrice Ferreira, the protege from Brazil, the world champion amateur turned pro as well, looking for a shot at a world title. It's going to be a stacked night of boxing. We're going to face these two great fighters off right in front of you now before they go to the media. Don't forget, December 9th, be part of something very special here in the Bay Area. One of the fights of the year, live on DAZN pay-per-view. Do not miss it. Thank you.
Very entertaining back and forth at the podium between Devin Haney and Regis Prograis, their respective camps on stage with Eddie Ernest. They get ready for the face-off to wrap up this launch press conference outside Chase Center. The road leading up to December 9th on DAZN pay-per-view. Devin Haney and Regis Prograis. Prograis WBC's 140-pound strap.
Fuck, man.
15, 30. Out. 15, 40.
Fuck.
Out. 30, 40. Game and set. Opponent.
Everybody, good morning and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest Manchester United news as we discuss a deal delay for Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Does that mean that the deal could fall through? We'll talk about that. We'll also be talking about criticism, apparently, from Sir Jim Ratcliffe on certain signings that Erik ten Hag made. Obviously, there's a bit of an international roundup. Rasmus Højlund could be injured. He's spoken about his injury concerns. Amrabat apparently is injured. We'll talk about that. Also, Marcus Rashford, has he sparked the ignition on his season with that goal that he scored last night against Italy? Should he be starting against Sheffield United? Have you forgotten what happened at the end of Brentford without Marcus Rashford? Should he start the game against Sheffield United based on a goal for England? Lots to get into on the show as well. I'll also be answering a question that people just keep asking me all the time about this ex-player nonsense. You know what, there's people in the chat asking about it. I don't hide away from it. I'll give you my honest opinions on that as well in a few minutes' time. But
Out.
let's get
30 love.
from the Telegraph last night, basically saying that there is a delay in the deal with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It was meant to be ratified tomorrow in a board meeting.
30, 15.
Basically, some people can actually they're completely not ready here.
Lindor, made to melt you by the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
For deep confidence that matches the suit and tie, try Nivea Men Dew, powered by Black Carbon.
Sir Jim is not expected. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's entry into the capital is not expected to be voted on Thursday's board meeting. Details are still being finalised. Sir Jim wants to close the deal as quickly as possible in order to be in charge of sports operations in time for the January transfer window. Sources close to the negotiations say that the deal is still inside within the next 2 weeks. So a delay in relation to the deal for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, obviously. We're still waiting the finer detail of that, whether we actually get it or not, but certainly not going to get it tomorrow bring this in, it is news, whatever you think about it. Some people in the market remain sceptical that Sheikh Jassim has completely lost interest in
Out.
the deal.
40, 30.
Qatari, however, reiterated that he told the Glazers last week that he had left the process. That's from James Ducker as well. The same article saying there's going to be a delay, also saying there is skepticism that Qatar may actually still be in the race. Look, summary, opinion, when a deal is not done, there is always an opportunity. There is an opportunity for it to fail.
Out.
There is an
Game.
opportunity for something
Player.
else to happen. There is obviously the opportunity for a twist and turn in the next 2 weeks. But I don't think that anything I've heard, and Ben Jacobs messaged me last night and said, look, Qatar are out, they're not in, they've told the Glazers they're out. I would just say as well, remember that this deal, whilst we've had some very public statements go out, what did the Rain Group and the Glazers say back in February? They want people to keep their jobs shut, people have signed non-disclosure agreements, so I would say that Qatar probably can't do a statement saying why they're out, because they've signed non-disclosure agreements, and the Rain Group probably don't want them to do that because it could damage the share price, etc., which it already has. So I don't think we'll get an official statement from Qatar as to why they pulled out or anything like that, because obviously that's not the same process that we were signed into the contract. So they're not going to start making statements that the bank is going to put through third-party sources in the next few weeks. I wonder if the other day whether there'll be an official statement from Qatar about whether the Glazers are maybe to get sacked. They're not going to talk for 18 months, are they? Which is why Solskjaer did his a couple of weeks ago. So they're not, the Glazers, I mean, Qatar are not going to officially withdraw from
Out.
the
15. Love.
For example, nobody has spoken about this because they're not clever enough to
15 all.
but Sir Jim Ratcliffe is suddenly in a very strong position. And people talk about, well, you know, the deal was going to get done on Thursday, now it's going to get done in
Out.
2 weeks.
30, 15.
Has anybody considered the fact that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, knowing that Qatar are out of the bid in process, can now negotiate a deal that increases in the rate?
Out. 40, 15.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe could actually be negotiating a stronger position now because he's the only one in the race. I mean, no one's talking about this. No one's talking about this at all. And it could actually work in the favour of fans and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, depending on what his ultimate goal is. And we don't know what his ultimate goal is. He might be happy to work with the Glazers forever. We don't know. But if his ultimate goal is to get hold of the full club and to, Sheikh Jassim has pulled out, we all know the
Out.
Glazers
Game and set. Player.
so it's a bit technically messy. Have the Glazers still got a strong position? Has Sir Jim gone, you know what, I'm not in a rush to do it on Thursday now. I know that Sheikh Jassim's out, let's take a couple of weeks. I want to get this in writing, I want to get that in writing. If there is a pathway to a full sale, maybe he wants that narrowed down. Maybe he's seen the backlash from Saturday and gone, we can't make. Look, I was speaking to someone last night and they said, look,
Out. 15. Love.
It's almost trying to green buy, isn't it? You put a deal out for 25%, you see fans going, not happy with this, vanity project, he's getting involved with the Glazers, don't like this at all. You test the water, you do your market research, you go back and change. There's nothing that's it wouldn't surprise me if that's what's going on there, where they're actually fine-tuning the deal to make it more palatable to fans. Because I don't think ultimately the but there are things that they could probably put in the deal that make it a little bit more, easy for the fans to. I find it very, very difficult. I was speaking to somebody last night about this, and they were like, you've made your mind up about Sir Jim and Ineos, you're just going to be against them forever. And I said, no, it's not the case at all. not the case. You don't know what you're going to feel about it in 2 months, 3 months, 3 years. What my problem is with the Glazers...
15 all.
Fully Glazers are full sail now, not tomorrow. Full sail now, not in 3 years' time. That I do not like. And I was talking about it forever. I don't like it while the Glazers are here. 2026 is a long time. You know, I don't see why I have to wait for 3 years for the Glazers to go. I don't like that deal. I hate it. So that's my problem. Is it better than 100% of the Glazers? Of course it is. And are we going to get a full sale? No, we're not. But look, at this moment in time, I don't feel a very strong connection to Sir Jim Radcliffe or any else.
Out.
Because
15
I
30.
provided a saviour for the, again, as well as the Glazers. That's just how I feel at the moment. That's how I feel. Do I think the deal's off? No. Do I think it could be off? Yes. Do I think it will get done? Yes. Do I think the delay is anything to concern yourselves about? Well, only if we don't have the days to stay. I think we will be staying. I think what's happening here is it's just a delay in fine-tuning new parts of this deal, and I think it will happen. I also think that there is next to no chance of anything else happening other than a Sir Jim Radcliffe purchase of shares of Manchester United. And as I say, we await more clarity on that. So that's the latest on that. Let's get into more pressing matters. Quite literally, Manchester United play a game on Saturday against Sheffield United. We've got lots of games coming up. Copenhagen next week, midweek. Then we've got Manchester City and the Manchester Derby. Interesting international break, literally breaking in the last few minutes. Amrabat injured, Morocco again. This happened at the last international break. This happened again. You've got to start questioning.
Out. 30 all.
You've got to look at this and say, at the end of the day, how many more times is this going to happen this season?
Out. 40 30.
Rasmus Højlund is speaking after the game yesterday saying, I'm going on adrenaline at the moment, we're going to wake up tomorrow, who knows how I feel, everyone knows I've got a back problem.
Out. Game. Player.
We've now got Amrabat as well. Casemiro had a nap as well. It's just, I think you've got to look at recruitment and fitness here, because it's untangible how this keeps happening to Manchester United. Like, we can't keep having this many injuries. I mean, Luke Shaw is long-term, Martinez is long-term, Wan-Bissaka are long-term. They won't be back before the next international break. They are out of the team and gone for a while. We've got other injuries as well. I mean, Varane is back now, Mount's just come back from an injury, but we can't, I don't like the international break. I hate the international break. I've been very consistent on it for years and years and years. But impressively, people going, oh, look at Rashford last night. Oh, look at Bruno the other night. And I'm like, I really don't see what the benefit of this is. I don't see the benefit for Manchester United. I'm talking in general about international football. Bruno loves playing for Portugal. Rashford will love his goal for England last night. Harry Maguire loves playing for England. It's the only time he gets to play. You get that, you understand that. But from a fan point of view, we used to have a manager in Sir Alex Ferguson that used to pull his players out of international duty all the time when they'd do it. No one will do that for Man United anymore. It shows you about what we are as a football club. Now, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but Sir Alex Ferguson was a master of this. The amount of Man United players that used to pull out of international duty for a couple of weeks off that was beneficial for Man United was uncanny. It never happens for us. We just seem to have this mentality at the football club where we bend over backwards for players, whether it's stupid wages or, you just keep playing. Who is looking after the physical side of things at Manchester United, and why have we not got strong leadership here? I mean, I literally was on Twitter the other night when Portugal were playing, and you couldn't move, but this is why Bruno's a magnifico. Oh, Bruno's so underrated. And I'm like, well, I think that anyway. I don't give a shit what he does in a Portugal shirt, to be honest with you. And I know that's really harsh, but I don't care. I'd rather he spent the last 2 weeks in Manchester recuperating. He plays too much football, and then when he plays against Sheffield United at the weekend and he misplaces a few passes because he's fucking knackered, people will be on his back again.
Out.
How long
15
is it going to take you
love.
to realise that Bruno Fernandes is inconsistent because he plays too much football? It's the most simple...
We had words like evil. These guys got words to try and explain this sort of phenomenon.
Out. 30 love.
Explore the mind of a monster in Boogie Boo. Now streaming. Subscribe to Showmax.
Bit of analysis you'll ever do. He plays too much football. Is Bruno Fernandes brilliant every game? The amount of games when we do the player ratings, I have to justify poor Bruno Fernandes' performance with he's just playing out of position. He's knackered. You know, and that's the situation. Is Marcus Rashford bad this season because he's knackered? Casemiro's been bad this season. I think he's knackered. These international breaks just do not help. I don't think they help other clubs, and I certainly don't think they help Manchester United. And if Højlund's got an injury and Amrabat's got an injury, they weren't injured when they played for Man United against Brentford, and now they're injured having gone on international duty. I just think I know those international breaks are there, and I know some of you love international football, and I respect that, but I think Man United have got to start respecting what they're all about, and you've got to look at players. Look, Erik ten Hag is a laptop manager. He will
Out.
see,
40 love.
he'll be told by his fitness department, that player can only play 60 minutes, and he takes them off in the 60th minute. He is methodical about things like that. Has anybody ever considered being methodical about what's best for Man United and stopping some of these players going on international duty? And if they won't stop, and if they say no, then maybe they're not putting Man United first. And I'm not talking about Amrabat or Højlund or Bruno, but what I am saying is that we are Manchester United, and we used to be in a situation where we could manipulate things in relation to player fitness and to our benefit. And at the moment, it seems to me, every other day, somebody else is getting injured because they're overplayed. It's Erik ten Hag's fault too, ridiculous pre-season schedule, says Rory. I just think we're not in control of our players, and I don't think we've been in control of our players for a long time. They're almost mini Browns who just do what they want. And look, I get it. I would want to play football if I was Bruno Fernandes, but he plays too much fucking football. And, alright, people will say, yeah, but Bruno never gets injured, but is Bruno consistently good every week? No. Would Bruno be a better player if he played one game a week? Yes. He's such an energetic lover of football that if he played one game a week, he'd have more energy and more, he'd play better. But he plays too much football. Too much football. People don't want to have this conversation. Rafael Varane literally had it at the start of the season. We and our players play too much football. Whether they're new players or whether they're players from last season, you look at it, it's just too much football all the time.
Out. 40, 15.
Will you please call my friend Fahim Akrat, says JDR. So look, Højlund has a bit of a back issue potentially. Amrabat will wait
40,
to hear
30.
what the situation is with him. But look, it's a concern again, isn't it? And it's a very, very, we can talk about the ownership of Manchester United. It's a very, very difficult season for Manchester United as it is. We're starting, after the second international break, we're starting in 10th place. It's problematic. Just on Højlund, this is what he had to say after the game. I don't know how my back is. You know how it is with adrenaline. Right now I feel good, but I don't know how I will feel. People know that I have had problems in the past with my back, so it's a frustrating situation. He said they targeted me yesterday. As you can see at the end, I understand Italian. I could hear them saying that they had the idea to crush me, and you can see from the images that
Out. Game, set, and match. Player.
Is a joke. We're just looking at the injury straight into the you've probably seen it on Twitter. He controls the ball, and the defender just goes in, knee up, straight into the back. It's a red card, 100%. But this is a player that's had a back issue and has just gone and had a knee right in the back. It's disgustingly amateur, actually. And footballers really should be looking at this situation. Officials really should be looking at this situation and dealing with it, because you can be intelligent as an official. I know that's a bit of a contradiction in what we see week in, week out, but this is a guy that has a back issue, and that is a San Marino player who's put his knee right into his back. If he had an ankle issue, he'd be kicking his ankle. If he had a knee issue, he'd be kicking the back of his knee. That is a targeted foul on a weak area of a player, and it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable, and referees just wander into games and look, thinking about who's done their hair, and understand the game and what they're trying to do. And if Amrabat's out at the weekend, he's out at the weekend. If Højlund's out at the weekend, it's because some San Marino player has actually targeted his back. They changed the rules for pulling players out. They now have to turn up and be assessed, then replaced, says Mark. And did you see the Guardian article yesterday about Radcliffe citing Casemiro and his example of United's poor transfer policy? Just going to talk about this, Big Dad. So Jamie Jackson in The Guardian wrote an article yesterday. He said there's going to be big changes at the club under Sir Jim Radcliffe, but he also said that on his visit to Carrington, when he was being shown around back in March or April, I think it was, he apparently, Sir Jim Radcliffe, criticised recruitment, and Casemiro was mentioned specifically as a signing that Jim Radcliffe was because he's meant to be a local lad who loves Man United, right? Well, he clearly doesn't watch Manchester United if he's criticising the Casemiro deal, because Sir Jim Radcliffe, you would be buying a club in the Conference League if we hadn't bought Casemiro. Now, Casemiro cost 60 million quid. Just for that season last year, he was worth it to get us into the Champions League. So I don't see what the Casemiro issue is. What would Sir Jim Radcliffe's alternative be to that 60 million? Because there wasn't anything else available, and it was the back end of the transfer window. It was literally the last week of the transfer window when we bought him. So you were never going to get anyone as good as Casemiro. Casemiro, for me, last season was our player of the year. He's not playing well this season, I can admit that, but last season he was my player of the year. I think the team was completely and utterly reliant on him, and for 60 million quid to bring in, you know, one of the best centre defensive midfielders in the world and get third place when no one expected it, I don't see how you can criticise that deal. And if it's an age thing, let's not forget, he scored cash for Michael at 35, and Barkley. So I don't understand that story at all. I would hope there is no truth in it. At the end of the day, since when did we start listening and dealing with the news outlets? You know, we have to obviously take everything with a pinch of salt and agree that there are two sides to the story. But I don't know. But criticising the Casemiro deal, who actually was successful last season, would be a really, really odd observation. Look, maybe, well, it's worrying in another sense as well, because if he is saying you shouldn't be buying players who are coming towards the end of their career, you should be going for someone at the start of their career, well, what sort of plans list then? Are we going to be Brighton now, where we buy young players, developing them and they pick up? Like, we're Manchester United again. We have to hit the ground running. We can't have 2 or 3 years of finishing mid-table. We have to hit the ground running, and that was the whole point of the Casemiro signing. I thought the Casemiro signing was very, very clever, because it took us from a team that was, you know, what, our lowest ever Premier League points over and totally rubbish, to third place. I actually think that Casemiro deal was probably one of the best deals we've done in the last 10 years. For what it achieved, it took us from nowhere to Champions League football. I know it's not popular to say that at the moment because Casemiro's not playing well, but logically, when we bought him last season, we went from nowhere to third, and we're back in the Champions League. To me, that's worth 60 million quid. And then, from that, it's what we did last summer that really fucked us up, because we provided the platform, and then we opened the trapdoor and fell through it. What Plonker's immediate training these players, announcing how he has back issues, is basically telling defenders to clump in there, amateurs as Charlie. But in fairness, Charlie, Rasmus talking about his back injury after he's been hit in the back, they already know. Like, Man United already told everyone that he's got a back injury. So San Marino already targeted his back before the comment. So I get what you're saying, Charlie, but Rasmus is talking about it after he's been hit there. Look, trust me, I've played the game, and, you know, even playing under 16s football, and you know the